I think we can all agree that we're looking forward to some kind of PlayStation showcase at some point in the near future, and that looks like it's going to be coming sooner rather than later, as all the ducks seem to be going in a row. And it does look like we're going to be getting some announcements, as some have kind of leaked out a little bit. Of course, with these announcements, take everything with a grain of salt, because we don't know for sure until they've actually been officially announced. But it is important to kind of keep that in mind as we go forward. I know all of us are very excited about what the future has. Listen, Microsoft did their best E3 in years. For me personally, I thought 7 out of 10. I would have loved to seen some of the stuff that they had previously announced, but no need to kind of dwell on the past or whatever. But I just felt like, for me personally, a little bit let down by no Perfect Dark, no Fable, no Hellblade 2, no Avowed, no Everwild. The stuff that they really kind of hyped up kind of was missing, and that was a little bit unfortunate for me personally. And again, I think that they still did a very good job with what they had. It just wasn't an amazing time, because they didn't show the stuff that I personally wanted to see. Other people might feel differently, and I think that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. But when it comes to PlayStation, yes, I finally finished Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I can fully say amazing experience. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than I expected. Something like 15, 16 hours total. Listen, what can I say, man? I'm a grown person with a job and a family, and, I can't just sink hour after hour into video games these days. It doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately. So, games can take me a little bit longer to actually go out there and beat. With that being said, I'm always looking forward to the next big game, and thankfully, it looks like we're not going to have to wait too much longer, and it does look like there's some exciting stuff coming from Sony at the end of the day, and it looks like this stuff sounds pretty interesting to me, and I want to get into it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here. Slap that like button. Slap it. It's me, Crap Gaming, back with another video. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for helping the channel out and helping the rebuild and stuff like that. It really does mean a lot to me personally, so thank you guys very much. I'm always humbled by that. With that being said, I want to jump right into it. So again, what are we going to see at this supposed Sony showcase? Well, I can tell you what was high on my list, which was seeing some new God of War Ragnarok gameplay and possibly getting a release window or release date for it. I know that it's not coming till next year, but they really did believe that it was going to come out at some point this year. So I could imagine them announcing like a March release date for that. It would be absolutely fantastic. So Sony is hotly tipped to unveil God of War Ragnarok, right? Like, wow. Can you believe that? To me personally, that's what I want to see most of all. Now, during its post E3 2021 show, obviously later this summer, it looks like it could be the 8th. And now, according to this, which again, take it with a grain of salt, basically that Kratos' highly anticipated PlayStation 5 title will be shown in action. God of War Ragnarok is the follow-up to 2018's critically acclaimed soft reboot of the franchise and is due for release in 2022. While originally believed to be a PlayStation 5 only game, Sony recently confirmed that it's launching on the PS4 as well. Now, Sony hasn't announced any plans to showcase God of War Ragnarok in the near future, but hopefully this is one leak that is 100% accurate. God of War, of course, debuted back in 2005 for the PlayStation 2 and remains one of Sony's most successful first-party IP. While the first batch of games focused on Greek mythology, 2018's entry shifted to a Norse-inspired backdrop, which I thought was a fantastic kind of shift and really loved it. Again, I was a little bit skeptical at first because I was such a fan of the original God of War games, and then all of a sudden I get into this new one and it's like the greatest thing I've ever played and experienced. And right away from the beginning, I was just like, wow, blown away by it, to be honest with you. I couldn't believe how amazing that game was, and they did a really good job of fleshing it out and kind of changing it and updating it, because I feel like that's the problem with games now. Like, that game came out in 2005 originally, that franchise, so by the time 2018 comes around, you're pretty far into almost a decade and a half. You have to update things, because what played good and what was design choices for a PlayStation 2 maybe don't make a lot of sense in 2018, or especially in 2021, 2022. This is what I stress when it comes to certain games like Halo or Gears of War, or like even Crackdown. It's like, okay, something that worked in 2006 on the limited hardware like a Xbox 360 now has like so much more power to work with an Xbox Series X. Why not do much more with it? You know what I mean? Halo didn't have sprint like back in the day, you know. Now people still complain about that it does. Like, I shouldn't have to push a button to run. You know, that's my big problem with Gears, to be honest with you. So hopefully these things get worked out. You can update your game for the future and still have it be a great game and people critically like it. Like, I didn't hear anybody really complain that, hey, oh, God of War, I hate that game now. You know what I mean? Like, people like the game. And I thought they did a really good job with it. So that's really cool to see that. The other thing is Ghost of Akishima domain has been registered following rumors of a standalone expansion. Domain for Ghost of Akishima, the rumored standalone expansion from Sucker Punch Productions, critically acclaimed Samurai Epic, has been registered online. While nothing official has been confirmed yet and there is no evidence that Sony registered it themselves, the domain for Ghost of Akishima redirects to the official PlayStation website. Redirects, however, can be done by anyone, but ghostofTsushima.com does redirect to the PlayStation game page for the title. Sony is supposedly hosting a pre-E3 2021 event in early July where it's expected that we'll be getting a bunch of key reveals, Ghost of Akishima hopefully among them. It's also rumored that we'll see the new God of War game in action as well, which I aforementioned previously. Now, Ghost of Tsushima was released for PS4 in July 2020 and Sucker Punch's first major product since Infamous Second Son in 2014, which they did a fantastic job. I gotta say, man, what a great job getting these games out, right? And again, like for me personally, I know some people might go, oh, well, it's not going to be, you know, a full-length game or whatever. I got to be honest. Like, this type of situation really is one that I prefer and that I like, okay? And I think I remember Sean Layden saying something that he really liked these types of games too, where they come out with these separate expansions that are, you know, in the, you know, 10 to 20 hour range to complete. And I really enjoy that, you know, as a gamer who, like I said, kind of lacks time here and there. I just find it to be much more, you know, much simpler to just jump into for an hour if I have time and play it. That's how I did with Ratchet and Clank. You know, that took me about 15, 16 hours to beat. You know, I just kind of played it a little bit here and there and was able to do that. Miles Morales was a good example of that as well. I was able to go out there and play that game and just have a good time with it. I didn't have to, like, rush through it or anything like that. I just felt like it was a fantastic game that I kind of savored, and I enjoyed that. Same thing with Lost Legacy, and even Infamous, what was it, First Light? That was the DLC for Second Son. Good job with that, too. Like, I like those style of games. I have nothing wrong with those, you know, with how they've kind of done that, and I like the fact that they've actually implemented these types of games lately. You know, it makes a lot of sense. Given the fact that they have such a quick turnaround. Plus, they have all the assets there. You know, like, the assets are there. They can kind of do what they want with those. And I do hope that they continue to come out with stuff like that. Like, I love the fact that, you know, we get something so soon. You know, I love that, you know, and it's a tangible something. Like, to me, Miles Morales, I like that story and that little chunk of game much more than the entirety of the 2018 Spider-Man for some reason. I thought they had the combat down better and things like that. It just, I don't know, and obviously the 60 frames helped. But yeah, been fantastic to see that happening. Love seeing, like, fans get excited for that, and the fact that people are genuinely surprised by these things, right? And what I mean by that is this. So everybody thought, well, after Ratchet and Clank, you know, we might get Horizon Zero or Horizon Forbidden West, and then after that, what happens? You know, like, what's going to happen after that point? Is that the end of it for the year? No, if this game were to come out this year, and who knows, there might be other surprises as well, I think that bodes extremely well for, you know, fans and everybody in general. Being able to kind of get games that they want, and I love that. So hopefully that's the case. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly kind of what's going on in the future with this stuff. And again, I would love that. Give me something more to play. Horizon is great. Ghost of Tsushima, I love that world, so give me a new piece of that's 10 to 15 hours. Perfect for that, because maybe I even thought the original kind of maybe dragged on a little bit. But yeah, I absolutely love seeing these types of games, and I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Sound off in the comment section down below. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. If you enjoyed the video, give me a simple like. That's all I ask for. please. Thank you so much for having my back, for supporting the channel as we rebuild. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.